Hi, thanks for joining me on the Listen Up Girl podcast. This is your daily LGBTQ plus news podcast. I'm your host, Zach Randall-Friedman. Today is Saturday, July the 11th, 2026, so let's get into it. First story is a new study. Women are moving away from heterosexuality. A major new study out this week is turning heads and confirming what a lot of us have noticed for years. Researchers at the Human Sexualities Research Lab at the State University of New York spent 15 years tracking more than 10,000 undergrads in New York State. Their findings: young women are steadily and significantly moving away from exclusive heterosexuality, and young men are not. Here are the numbers. In 2011, about 22% of female students reported attraction that wasn't exclusively to men. By 2026, that number has nearly doubled. It is close to 50%. The share of women who reported not having exclusively male sexual partners jumped from 8% all the way to 35%. And the share identifying as something other than exclusively heterosexual rose from 18 to 44%. Meanwhile, among men, virtually no movement, about 14% in 2011 and about 13% in 2026. The researchers point to several factors driving the shift: greater LGBTQ plus visibility, same-sex marriage, queer online communities, expanding identity and language, and the Me Too movement, all of which have challenged the assumptions that heterosexuality is just the default for women. The study also notes that gender norms continue to leave men far less room for sexual ambiguity. Among those who didn't identify exclusively straight, men were more likely to identify as either entirely gay, where women's identities spread across a much wider spectrum. This is genuinely fascinating research, and for a community that's been told for decades that our identities are a trend or a phase, it's a reminder that visibility, language, and culture actually matters. They shape how people understand themselves. I wish more men were gay and bi and exploring, but hey, we'll take you women. That's awesome for me. Just be yourself. Next, California commits $26 million to Project Gender-Affirming Care. So Governor Gavin Newsom has signed a 2027 California state budget, and it includes a historic $26 million investment to protect access to gender-affirming care from federal attacks. The one-time fund will be distributed through targeted grants to healthcare providers across the state, giving them what advocates are calling meaningful resources to continue and expand their gender-affirming care offerings. The budget also includes a separate $30 million uncompensated care fund, which will cover gaps if federal Medicaid and CHIP dollars are pulled. Why does this matter right now? Because the Orange Convicted Felons Administration has been working to block federal funding from going to gender-affirming care for minors. And over the past year, many California families have seen their providers either stop offering that care entirely or announce plans to do so. Kathy Moling, Director of Trans Family Support Services, called it a historic investment that will keep care accessible, support the providers doing the life-saving work, and remind trans young people that California will not abandon them. And then there's this. The budget also includes a first-of-its-kind $10 million LGBTQ plus community center fund, believed to be the first dedicated state fund of its kind in the country. LGBTQ community centers across California will be able to draw from it for medical care, housing, HIV prevention, mental health services, and youth programming. California is doing what the federal government refuses to do, and that's worth calling out. Amazing. I love it that these states are doing this. Next, we go to Riley Gaines after Elliot Page. Internet fires back. So Riley Gaines is at it again, and this week, even her critics had to admit she's not doing herself any favors. Gaines, the former collegiate swimmer who has built an entire career on attacking trans people, turned her sights this week onto Oscar-nominated actor Elliot Page. Page was in London for the premiere of The Odyssey, the upcoming Christopher Nolan film, where he plays Sinon, a Greek soldier in the Trojan War. He was signing autographs, smiling, and doing the things celebrities do at premieres. Gaines saw a video of it and posted a lengthy attack on X, misgendering Page and calling him an insecure woman who sold a lie. The post went viral, not because people agreed with her, but because the internet absolutely roasted her. Responses range from, "Why do you care so much?" or "You are more obsessed with trans people than trans people are," to my personal favorite, "Fifth place loser says what?" Love that. Because here's the thing, Gaines originally claimed her crusade was about fairness in women's sports, but attacking an actor for attending a movie premiere, signing autographs in London, that has nothing to do with sports. It has everything to do with the hate. Elliot Page did not respond. He's busy, being a working actor in a Christopher Nolan film. You know what? This fifth place swimmer needs to move on and maybe find a life. Get somebody that might love you in your life if you can find them. Next, we have Karamo and a queer eye for the new love story. So let's pivot to some celebrity news because this one has the community talking. Queer Eye star Karamo Brown has confirmed he is in a new relationship, and that relationship is with actor Jussie Sullivan. TMZ broke the story after the two were spotted on an all-day date in Los Angeles, lunch with Kamaro's mom, errands, and a hike through Runyon Canyon with some very visible PDA. And then Karamo went on the Carlos King's reality with the King's podcast and basically confirmed it without using Jussie's name, but leaving zero room for doubt. He said, I quote, "I do believe this is going to be my husband. I believe this is going to be my forever person." This comes after Jussie engagement to Jabri Raid ended earlier this year and after Kamaro's previous relationship wrapped up in 2025. Now, yes, both of these men carry some baggage. Jussie's history with the 2019 hate crime case is well documented. Karamo had his own controversial moments, including a willingness to engage with figures most of the LGBTQ community considers adversaries. Their pairing is unexpected. But you know what? People find love in unexpected places. The community has opinions, loud ones, but at the end of the day, two Black gay men are in love, calling each other forever. Make that of what you will. I kind of love it. Next, we go to Ghana's anti-LGBTQ law is one signature away from being reality. This one is deeply serious and it needs your attention. In May of 2026, Ghana's parliament passed an anti-LGBTQ bill that would criminalize being queer. Under this law, simply identifying as lesbian, gay, bisexual, or transgender or queer could result in up to 3 years in prison. Engaging in heterosexual relationships, same sentence. Promoting, sponsoring, or supporting LGBTQ activities, 3 to 5 years. An identity as an ally of an LGBTQ plus people could also make you a criminal. The bill now sits on the desk of the president of Ghana, and he has said he supports its passage. Human Rights Watch has condemned the bill, calling on the Ghanaian government to uphold international protections, guaranteeing equality, privacy, and the freedom of expression. Advocates say the law is already having a chilling effect even before it's signed. Q plus Ghanaians are reportedly in a state of panic with organizations shutting down and people going further underground. This is part of a broader and deeply alarming pattern. Conservative governments, many with ties to the American far right, advocacy groups are weaponizing anti-LGBTQ plus legislation to consolidate power and score political points. What's happening in Ghana right now could have consequences for tens of thousands of lives. We are watching and we are not forgetting. It's crazy that in 2026, we are still going in this direction. And next, we have Bear Week begins in Provincetown, and Pride is still happening. So let's close on something that reminds us why we keep going. Today, July 11th, marks the opening of Provincetown Bear Week, described as the largest gathering of gay bears in the world. Bear Week runs through July 18th at the tip of Cape Cod, Massachusetts. And it's exactly what it sounds like. Thousands of gay men, community, ocean air, and a lot of plaid. For our community right now, with courts rolling back rights, legislators attacking trans people, and countries around the world criminalizing who we are, events like Bear Week matter. They are a reminder that joy is also resistance. The community is also protection. That showing up, being visible, and celebrating who you are, even when the world tells us not to, is an act of defiance. If you are there, have the best time. If you're not there, hold on to the image of thousands of us taking up space, being loud, and refusing to disappear, because that's what we do. And I have to say, I have accidentally gone to Bear Week in Provincetown once, regretted it, I thought. But after the first day, the bears were so nice. We ended up going on purpose the following year. Even though I'm the furthest from a bear, they are the nicest group of people, and I had a great time, and so did all my friends. So that's your Listen Up Grow podcast for Saturday, July 11th. 6 stories, research, legislation, celebrity news, global human rights, and a little joy to close. If this show is part of your weekend, help it reach more people by sharing the episode, leave a rating and review, and subscribe wherever you get your podcast. You can find me on YouTube and Instagram at TheRealZachRE, and visit Listen Up Grow for more. Stay informed, stay loud, and take care of yourselves, and I'll be back tomorrow with more news. Thanks.